Holy swords, broken hacks abilities, and maxed out stats. We are all familiar with our beloved status system. Now imagine you reach level 999 stats. Then you're stopped by a guy with nothing but pure muscle. Meet Asura, but your mom knows him as the Fist King. He rejects the system to throw straight hands. He was betrayed, yeeted into an unfamiliar land, and nerfed by an evil baddie. Now he's on an unstoppable warpath to get revenge and make it back to his world. At the pinnacle of martial arts, where the strong devour the weak, there was one man who stood above them all, a true aura farmer, a warrior who unified the world, not with politics or strategy, but with a pure, unadulterated ass-whooping. Your mom calls him the Fist King, the god of war. Asura, like the one from Asura's wrath. And honestly, with a title like that, you can't be a humble dude. You just gotta own it. But of course, there's always that one guy who didn't get the memo. An old general, probably past his prime, rolls up on his high horse telling Fist King Asura he's mad for showing up alone. Oh, honey. The unnamed general puffs out his chest, hiding behind an army of 100,000 men. He thinks he's got the numbers game on lock, questioning Asura's plan. It's like bringing a calculator to a gunfight. Asura, however, looks bored. He hears an army of 100,000, and you can almost hear him thinking, and? Did you want a cookie for that? He slowly turns, and the look on his face just screams, bro cannot be serious. To him, a number like that is just insignificant, a rounding error. Fist King Asura calls the general's strategy disgusting number games, and flat out tells him, this is why you'll never beat me. Cold. The general is shook, the sheer audacity, the disrespect. It's more than his old, fragile ego can handle. And like any boomer who's just been told his entire life's philosophy is garbage, he loses it. Behead him, he screams. Classic. He appeared alone, without a single weapon, but his martial power was on a whole nother level. With a single flex of his aura, the ground shatters. This isn't a fight, it's pest control. Even the so-called masters of the Murim, the strongest fighters of their time, fell one after another. It was a massacre. Boom. Time skip. Year 1 of the Sura kingdom, and our boy, Fist King Asura, succeeded in unifying the world. He's standing on a pile of skulls, as one does when they're the new king. This is the kingdom's capital, myo-wol. Looks peaceful, for a place built on the corpses of a 100,000-man army. His subjects bow before him. One of them, looking particularly shady, congratulates him. You can just smell the betrayal simmering. This person claims that after defeating so many enemies, there's nothing left for Asura to achieve. Yeah, that's what they always say right before they stab you in the back. Asura, having the emotional intelligence of a brick, is just annoyed. He tells his vassal, myo-wol, to cut the crap and get to the point. And here comes the flattery. Myo-wol, with a smile that's a little too sweet, starts the glazing, reminding him he's the only king who unified the plains through pure power alone. We get it. He's strong. She goes on, saying even the title of martial god isn't enough for him anymore. She's laying it on thick. It's a classic villain monologue setup. So, to offer a secret manual worthy of his majesty, she's brought him to this dark, spooky-looking cave. Nothing suspicious here, at all. And there it is, the secret manual. A disgusting, blood-filled chalice chained to a pedestal. Myo-wol claims only Asura can handle its power. Bro, that's not a manual, that's a hazard. But does our genius protagonist question it? Of course not. He walks right up to the obviously cursed goblet, completely oblivious. The arrogance is about to cost him everything. He reaches out, and as his fingers touch the chalice, the blood inside begins to bubble and glow. It's almost as if this incredibly obvious trap is about to spring. And there it is. The obviously cursed chalice was, in fact, a cursed chalice. Glowing red chains erupt from the artifact, ensnaring the Fist King. Who could have seen this coming? The chains wrap around his entire body, glowing with a sinister energy. All that power, all that muscle, and he got taken down by some kinky, glowing jewelry. Fist King Asura is completely bound. He looks up, not in fear, but in pure, unadulterated rage. He realizes he's been played. It's the ultimate find out moment. Myo-wol, flanked by her new goon squad, drops the nice act. Your tyranny ends here, she says, declaring herself the new ruler. She claims he's powerless before the abyssal heavens. Girl, You just backstabbed your boss. Let's not get all high and mighty. The ultimate stare down. Fist King Asura, radiating pure fury, versus myo-wol, with a smug look that just begs to be punched. But, you know, he's a little tied up at the moment. But this is the Fist King we're talking about. He's not just gonna sit there. He starts to flex, and the chains begin to crack. Myo-wol, he growls. Have you forgotten who I am? Uh-oh, she might have messed up. I am destiny and destruction, personified. Okay, a bit dramatic, my guy, but the power surging off him is no joke. He's actually breaking free. Myo-wol finally loses her cool. She starts panicking, screaming at her followers to open the barrier of the celestial abyss. She really thought it would be that easy. Fist King Asura lunges, a blur of motion aimed right at Myo-wol's face. This is it, the ultimate comeback. And he gets absolutely yeeted by a blast of blood magic from the abyss. So much for that. He's caught in a vortex of raw, chaotic energy. The abyssal heavens don't play around. The blast is so huge it sends Myo-wol flying back. She brought a nuke to a fistfight and is surprised by the fallout. She stands before her followers, the blood-soaked ground and the still-smoking chalice behind her. The coup is complete, and the same guys who were just bowing to Fist King Asura, they're now on their knees for her. We congratulate our liege. Pathetic. They all hail Myo-wol, the new sovereign of the Sura kingdom. Loyalty is flexible, I guess. And so, the man who once ruled the world, the Fist King, Asura, meets his end in such futility. Or does he? Meanwhile, in a completely different genre, a blue window pops up. You have been summoned as a player. Would you like to participate? Oh boy, here we go. The classic isekai, punch. Our new hero's response to the call to adventure is to punch the system window square in its face. I like this guy already. Meet Kim Yuda, and unlike every other isekai protagonist, he is not excited about this. He just looks tired and annoyed. Relatable. He's trying to figure out what that incredibly ominous feeling was when his little floating companion, a chibi girl named Nova, appears. So we got a system, a moody hero, and a cute mascot. We've hit the trifecta. Nova screams, "Yuda, watch out!" as a massive red dragon-looking beast lunges at him. No time for exposition, it's straight to the action. But Kim Yuda is no rookie. He parries the attack with a swift movement, his sword already drawn. This clearly isn't his first rodeo. He fluidly slides into a counterattack, sword at the ready. Okay, so this guy clearly knows what he's doing. The Inferno. Balrog rears back, charging up its signature move. The system gives Kim Yuda a 2-second countdown. Now, any normal person would be dodging for their life right now. But Yuda? He just stands there, watching. He's got a different plan entirely. The Balrog unleashes a torrent of fire. The system, ever the helpful narrator, calls it an AoE fire magic attack. Yeah, no kidding. But instead of dodging, Kim Yuda activates a skill. The system starts analyzing the attack, because why fight with your body when you can fight with your brain? And by brain, I mean a busted personal AI. Analysis complete. And the payoff is sweet. His skill automatically counters the fire breath, giving him a whopping 150% fire resistance. He just stands there and tanks it like it's a warm breeze. This guy is playing on easy mode. With the fire attack completely neutralized, he charges straight through the flames. Time to go on the offensive. He leaps into the air, his glowing sword at the ready. Say hello to his little friend, the holy sword of Asterion. And he follows it up with a skill that has some serious final boss energy. A massive beam of light descends from above, ready to smite the Balrog into oblivion. And in case you were worried, he's got 9 more of those bad boys left. This is just overkill. Zap. A direct hit right to the cranium. The Balrog never stood a chance. And just like that, quest complete. You have defeated the 998th floor's boss. Easy peasy. Kim Yuda stands over the defeated boss, letting out a sigh of relief. But the grind never stops. The final quest immediately pops up. Reach the top of the tower. But Yuda looks troubled. His companion, Nova, floats over, asking what's wrong. Dude, you just won. Why the long face? Wait, this guy's name is Yuda. He uses multiple abilities, and gets followed around by a little girl? He kinda reminds me of someone. Anyways, Nova tries to cheer him up, reminding him that only the top of the tower is left now. They're in the home stretch. She points out at the ridiculously tall tower, saying they need to clear it quickly, so they can go see their families. Ah, the classic motivation. Now we know what he's fighting for. That seems to do the trick. A spark returns to Kim Yuda's eyes. He agrees. Let's do this. He reflects on his journey. It's been 3 long years since he was summoned to this world, and his only goal has been to conquer this tower. But now that he's at the end, he can't shake a feeling of unease. Foreshadowing. He wonders what could possibly be waiting for him on the other side. Something worse than a fire-breathing Balrog? Nova can tell he's still spooked. He's completely zoned out, lost in his thoughts. He gives himself a little pep talk. Pull yourself together, Kim Yuda. It's time to lock in. He approaches the massive gates to the final floor. Nova checks on him one last time, and he confirms he's ready. Let's go in. His confidence returns. He's a stat stick, a min-maxing monster. He believes there's no monster in this tower that can surpass his stats. He is going back to his original world. Famous last words. But at that moment, as he steps onto the final floor, he sees a figure waiting for him in the distance. The being that appeared before his eyes was a terrifying silhouette of pure, demonic energy. That is not a normal boss monster. The being that appeared before his eyes was the Fist King, Asura, the guy from the prologue, the one who got betrayed and supposedly died. What is he doing here? Fist King Asura, looking just as confused as Yuda, asks, "What are you lot?" Kim Yuda is speechless, and Nova, our lovely comic relief, whispers, A gorilla? What's up with this Ajushi? I am dead." The gears in Kim Yuda's head are turning. A talking monster? The final floor? He puts 2 and 2 together. Don't tell me. This guy is the final boss. Meanwhile, Fist King Asura is having his own little crisis. He's looking around this weird, unfamiliar room, aura farming, and realizing that Snake Myo-wol really did manage to lock him up. The betrayal is finally sinking in. Yuda's mind is blown. He's capable of speech? In his world, that means this is a monster with intelligence. He's trying to categorize Asura within his video game logic, but he quickly shakes it off. Don't be fooled by appearances, Kim Yuda. He steals his resolve. It doesn't matter what the boss looks like or if it can talk. It's the final obstacle. He has to win. With a battle cry, he lunges forward, sword ready. I'll put an end to this now. No hesitation, no mercy, just pure gamer instinct. He unleashes a flurry of strikes, his blade a blur of light. But Asura dodges with minimal effort, unimpressed. Kim Yuda closes the distance, his form perfect, his determination absolute. He's putting everything he has into this initial assault. His attacks land, creating a cloud of dust and debris. He's definitely hitting something. He raises his sword for the finishing blow. This is the end! Famous last words, buddy. And here it comes again, the big one. He's not taking any chances, going straight for the ultimate. That's another charge of his ult down. Only 8 left. He's got to make this count. As the dust settles, Yuda allows himself a slight smirk. He's much weaker than I thought he'd be. Oh, you sweet, naive child. You have no idea. Then the smoke clears, and Fist King Asura is standing there, holding the glowing blade of the holy sword with his bare hand. He looks bored. What do you think you're doing? The disrespect. Yuda's face says it all. No way. He stopped my ultimate with just one hand. All that confidence shattered in an instant. The power gap is a chasm. Yuda recovers quickly, activating once more. If raw power won't work, maybe his hack skill can find a weakness. The analysis is already at 78%. Analysis complete. The system automatically targets Asura's supposed weakness, giving Yuda an 87.86% chance of success. Okay, maybe there's hope. Maybe he can clutch this. Asura doesn't even move. He just looks at the sword in his hand and says one word. Cease. And the system has a complete meltdown. Error. A critical error has occurred in Climber's strategy. The probability of success has plummeted to 0.43%. Yuda's I win button just broke. Asura casually flings the holy sword away as if it's a child's toy. The sheer contempt is palpable. Yuda is in absolute shock. A success rate of less than 1%? This has never happened before. His entire understanding of this world is crumbling around him. He looks up at Asura, who's now emanating a terrifying, demonic aura. And all Yuda can think is, just who the hell? Is this Ajusi? Asura just smirks, the aura receding. Hey, Brad, no need to be so terrified. He says it so calmly, so condescendingly. It's beautiful. I do not bother fighting those who are not worth my time. And he just walks away, leaving Yuda completely frozen, the ultimate power move. The words echo in Yuda's mind. I'm not worth your time, you say. You can feel his gamer rage starting to bubble up. Asura stops and delivers the final, soul-crushing blow. With your current level of skill, I wouldn't waste even a single punch from this body on you. Oof, that's a verbal KO. But now it's Asura's turn to ask the questions. His eyes glow with intensity. So, I'll ask you, what exactly is this place? And suddenly, a light bulb goes off in Yuda's head. He starts to smirk. Ah, so that's how it's supposed to be? He thinks he's figured out the secret boss mechanic. He realizes why his ultimate skill and his analysis skill didn't work. I get it now. This stage was meant to prove my strength from the very start. Ah, the classic gamer mentality. It's not a bug, it's a feature. He starts laughing. Ha! LMAOOO. No wonder my attacks weren't dealing any damage. I didn't know there was a hidden gimmick like this here. LOL. He's treating the god of war like a raid boss with a weird mechanic. Only by showing my true value can I actually deal damage, Lamau. He's convinced he just needs to pass some kind of hidden DPS check. This is not going to end well for him. With a newfound confidence, he gets ready for round 2. In that case, I'll show you, and prove my value. It's time to pop all the cooldowns. Activating unique skill. Chosen hero. All stats will be maximized. This is it, his final form. He's going Super Saiyan. Glowing with an immense golden aura, Yuda charges forward. Eat this, the absolute maximum that the great system can grant. He flies past Asura, a whirlwind of light and power, ready to unleash the full might of a max-level player. And the system proudly displays his stats. Kim Yuda, LV99. HP, MP, and all stats are maxed out at 999. He is literally as strong as the game allows, a perfect player. The status window appears right in front of Asura's face. He just stares at it, completely bewildered. Strength and agility, 999? Maxed out? And Asura's confusion turns to pure, undiluted disgust. You talk about your strength. With these pathetic, mere numbers? He is personally offended by the very concept of a status window. He clenches his fist, his ki flaring up. A world where people discuss strength, through numbers while staring at blue windows. It's utterly revolting. It no longer matters what this place is. His eyes burn with a new purpose. He has found something truly worthy of his wrath. I'll be fixing you, from the ground up. Asura isn't just going to beat him. He's going to teach him a lesson about what true strength means. Asura charges forward, his intent clear. First, starting with that disgusting blue window. He's not even aiming for Yuda anymore. He's aiming for the UI. Fist King, Asura style. Destruction. He throws a single, powerful punch, not at his opponent, but at the very system that governs this world. And with a massive crack, the status window shatters. Yuda screams in horror as his entire reality is literally broken. Error, error. The system has sustained critical damage. What the hell? How is this even possible? He just punched the user interface so hard it broke. This is unheard of. The shockwave is so powerful and destroys a portion of the tower. The system goes into its death throes. All stored stats have disappeared. System recovery, failed. Data recovery, failed. The system is shutting down. He didn't just log him out, he deleted his account. Asura stands there, completely calm. Do you see now? True strength cannot be measured with numbers. He just proved his point in the most brutal way possible. He looks down with utter disdain. That blasted numbers game ends here, you brat. Mike, drop. Yuda crashes back down to earth, his body and spirit completely broken. The foundation of his world, the very system that made him strong, has been wiped from existence. And the result is brutal. Kim Yuda, LV.1. 3 years of grinding, all his power, his stats, his skills possibly erased. He's back to square one. He looks up, tears streaming down his face, but with a terrifying, broken smile. Yes, I was wrong.
3 years ago, our boy Yuda was summoned to a classic Tower of God ripoff. You know the type, endless floors, generic monsters, the whole 9 yards. He climbed this thing with a whole party, a real fellowship of the ring, but as you can see, things went south. Real south. Turns out, the only one who survived the ordeal was Kim Yuda, looking like he's seen better days, talking to his emotional support pixie, Nova. He's having a bit of an existential crisis, wondering if this whole conquer the tower gig is even legit. Yuda's not wrong to be skeptical. They're told to climb, but with no guarantee of survival, or even a return ticket home. It's like signing up for a marathon where the finish line might just be a cliff. And Nova, bless her heart, basically says, yeah, you might be right. This could all be a massive scam. Great pep talk. But then she pulls out the "it's all part of a divine plan" card. Apparently, some goddess named Asura said everything has a purpose. Real reassuring when you're surrounded by the ghosts of your dead friends. And there's the 180. So your journey must have a precious meaning, she says, with all the conviction of a motivational poster. Yuda does not look convinced. Speak of the devil. A new challenger has entered the arena, and this guy looks like he eats nails for breakfast. He announces that the tedious number games are about to end. Oh. And just like that, the ceiling comes crashing down. Yuda looks up, realizing he might have stayed in one place for just a little too long. Here we see the face of instant regret. The system helpfully points out that our boy Kim Yuda is level 1. He knows he's boned. Yuda, in a panic, tries to pull up his safety net. Status window, he calls out, hoping his gamer powers can save him from the juiced-up gigachad in front of him. He cycles through his options. Inventory. Quest window. It's the equivalent of frantically smashing buttons on a controller that's been disconnected. And then, the horrifying realization hits. The status window, it's just gone. Poof. Nada. Zip. This is not possible. Yuda goes into full-blown panic mode, screaming for a system reboot. Someone pull the plug and put it back in. That's not how it works, my dude. Fist King Asura just looks down on him with pity, mocking Yuda's reliance on these number games. He's got that "I'm not mad, just disappointed" vibe, which is so much worse. Asura confirms it with a smirk. Those disgusting blue windows are never coming back. He didn't just log Yuda out, he deleted his entire account. With all his power gone, Yuda resorts to the oldest trick in the book, begging. Please, spare me. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. But Asura hits him with the ultimate comeback. I have no interest in killing someone who isn't worth fighting. Oof. That's not a threat, that's an insult. Instead of killing him, Asura gets right in his face. He's got questions, and Yuda is the only one around to answer them. And here's the twist. Asura asks what this place is and, more importantly, how he can get back to his original world. Plot twist. The big bad guy is an Isekai protagonist too. Yuda is floored. This absolute unit is also a player? He stammers that he doesn't know how to get back either. It's like the blind leading the blind. Other than clearing the final stage, he says, there's really no other way. He's just repeating the company line that he himself was doubting moments ago. But the big guy doesn't seem to get it. Final stage? Clear. The words just don't compute. It's becoming painfully obvious these two are playing on completely different servers. And now Yuda is the one who's completely baffled. How can this guy not know the absolute basics? It's like trying to explain what a gacha roll is to your grandpa. Is this guy a time traveler? A cosplayer who took a wrong turn at the convention? The generational gap here isn't just a gap, it's a canyon. Yuda is justifiably losing his mind. He's wondering if this guy is some kind of historical cosplayer, maybe a runaway from a Joseon dynasty theme park. Seeing that he's dealing with a certified boomer, Yuda decides to break it down, nice and simple. He's going to use small words. With the most forced, customer service smile you've ever seen, he explains that, in one word, you have to clear the tower. See? Simple. Asura seems to be getting it. The entire tower must be cleared, he asks. And Yuda, bless his naive heart, confirms it. Yes. From the first floor to the top. Leave nothing behind. Oh, he's going to regret that phrasing. Feeling like he's successfully on board the new guy, Yuda gives him a smug little grin. Just start with the quests, mister. Simple enough. Famous last words. And here we see the disconnect. Asura's face lights up with manic glee. For him, clearing doesn't mean finishing quests. It means, I shall crush this damn tower. The look of instant regret on Yuda's face is priceless. No, mister, that's not what I meant, he screams. But it's a little too late for clarifications, my friend. Asura doesn't wait for a response. He unleashes his ultimate move, Fist King Asura style. Which appears to be, just punching the ground. Really, really hard. And the result is total annihilation. The entire tower begins to explode from the inside out. This guy didn't just clear the floor, he deleted the entire building from existence. Yuda can only utter a single, profound phrase that perfectly encapsulates the moment. Holy shit? Yes, Yuda. Holy shit indeed. As he's literally blown away by the shockwave, Yuda screams, why the hell are you destroying a perfectly fine tower? I don't know, Yuda, maybe because you told him to. Even the universe's OS is having a meltdown. A massive error message flashes, the tower has been destroyed by an abnormal entity. You don't say. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Currently in freefall, screaming his lungs out, wondering where it all went wrong. This is the face of a man who gave a god-tier entity a poorly worded instruction and is now facing the consequences. Pure, unfiltered terror. But wait. A savior appears. It's Nova, swooping in to save her falling idiot. And look, she's got his sword strapped to her back. She came prepared. Look at that fierce expression. This is not the cheerful pixie from before. This is a girl on a mission. She snatches him right out of the air. A perfect catch. Yuda is overjoyed, asking where she's been. Nova's excuse for being late? Sorry, I had to go grab your sword. Best companion ever. But there's no time for a touching reunion. Nova warns that they need to get out of there, because something big is about to happen. Yuda, still processing the fact that the entire dimension is collapsing around him, is a little skeptical. Something big? What could be bigger than the current situation, he wonders. Oh, you sweet, innocent fool. Never ask that question. The world starts to glitch around them. And there it is. The something bigger. Illegal access detected. The system is initiating a hard reset, creating a black hole to delete all the corrupted data of the destroyed tower. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Even Asura, the cause of all this chaos, seems mildly interested. What's this now? He asks, as a literal black hole of data forms in front of him. Yuda watches in horror as all the debris from the tower, everything, starts getting sucked into the void. It's like watching the world's most terrifying garbage disposal unit. He makes a quick and accurate assessment. Getting caught in that vortex of nothingness would, in fact, be a very bad time. But as the system scrambles to delete itself, not everything is being contained. Meanwhile, the system is having a panic attack of its own. It seems Asura generated so much garbage data by destroying the tower that the cosmic recycling bin is overflowing. Some data couldn't be deleted and is now just leaking out. And here's the man of the hour, just standing there as the world glitches around him, looking completely unbothered. The leaking data is literally splashing around his feet. He feels a little tingle and wonders. As Yuda and Nova stare in abject terror, Asura thinks he might have stepped on something. But then he just shrugs it off. The sheer, unadulterated confidence of this man is terrifying. He crosses his arms, looking genuinely perplexed. Anyway, why isn't anything happening? He looks over the wasteland he's created and says, just like that brat said, I've completely cleared the tower. Yuda, meanwhile, is having an aneurysm in the background. Yuda finally snaps. Even though you're overpowered, are you just going to go around destroying everything? Yes, Yuda. That's exactly what he's going to do. What if something happens? He screams, as if something hasn't already happened. But his rant is cut short by a massive beam of light erupting from the ground. The leaking data coalesces and shoots into the sky, a pillar of pure, unstable energy. Asura looks on, thinking a successor has finally appeared. But as the light fades, Yuda is left speechless. But nope. It's not a successor. It's just an unwelcome guest. And walking out of the light is a woman who looks like she owns the place. And hold on. What's all that movement back there? Asura's eyes go wide with shock and recognition. Why you are? Myo-wol? Asura screams. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the woman who betrayed him in the past. And she has a serious bone to pick with whoever just wrecked her tower. Myo-wol looks down at him with utter contempt. Was it you? She asks, her voice dripping with disdain. The arrogant bastard who destroyed my tower? The sight of her fills Asura with a rage so intense it physically manifests around him. This is the face of a man who has been waiting a very, very long time for revenge. So you were hiding here, Myo-wol, he roars, launching himself at her. How dare you do that to me? Myo-wol doesn't even flinch. She just raises a single, elegant finger. And with a flick, she sends the god-killing, tower-destroying fist King Asura crashing into the ground like a meteor. She didn't even break a sweat. Yuda can only watch, his jaw on the floor. Mister. She looks down, her expression one of pure, unadulterated power. I'm asking if you're the one who destroyed the tower. She's not mad, she's just asserting dominance and she can assert dominance on me. Yuda is having a hard time processing what he just saw. This woman subdued that monster of a man in a single hit. He starts to connect the dots. Could the goddess Asura that Nova mentioned, be this person? He's not far off. Anyone who can casually swat Asura like a fly is basically a goddess in my book. Asura, meanwhile, is already recovering, digging his fingers into the dirt. I see. He gets up, analyzing the situation. You are certainly different from the myo-wol I know. She didn't use this kind of strange power. He then comes to a terrifying conclusion, you're definitely the one who built that damn tower. His eyes glowing with rage, Asura demands to know, those disgusting number games, were they also your doing? He finally knows who to blame for the system he despises. Before she can answer, he goes on a tirade. Fine. I cleared it all, just as you said. The damn tower, and those disgusting number games too. Myo-wol just watches, unimpressed, while Yuda has a front row seat to the world's most awkward domestic dispute. So immediately return me, to my rightful place, my kingdom, he roars, ready to throw down again. He did the job, and now he wants his paycheck. Myo-wol just gives him a little smirk. And then bursts out laughing. You're quite amusing. She finds the most powerful being they've seen so far to be little more than a clown. This lady is Azula levels of crazy and I'm so into it. Then she looks past him, straight at Yuda, and asks the most devastating question, about you being able to go back to your original world by clearing the tower. Who told you such an absurd thing? The look on Yuda's face says it all. The one hope he had was a lie. But then, she makes a new offer. Fine, then. Whether it's the tower or the stat windows, go ahead and destroy as much as you like. She conjures a ball of dark energy. Wait. Is that a hollow purple? If you really destroy everything I've made, I'll send you back to the world you came from. So she's not just a goddess, she's a quest giver. However, it won't be easy. Using the corrupted data from the tower's destruction, the system begins to restore dummy players. Ghostly figures start to materialize in front of Yuda. Yuda looks on in horror, a terrifying realization dawning on him. What is this? These aren't just any dummy players. They're his fallen comrades, the ones who died at the start of his journey. Myo-wol didn't just bring back enemies, she brought back his trauma. Myo-wol's face twists into a sadistic grin. Because from now on, the towers you must destroy still remain in great numbers in this world. She reveals a vision of countless other towers, stretching as far as the eye can see. He didn't just destroy one building, he destroyed one level in a much, much larger game. But as Asura is left to process this world-shattering revelation, Yuda has had enough. A golden light erupts from his hand. It's the sword Nova brought him. He charges forward, launching himself at the goddess who's been playing with their lives. Myo-wol effortlessly blocks the golden blade with a barrier of dark energy. Wait. Now is that infinity? Okay, so that's 2 abilities. Close enough. Welcome back, my glorious blue-eyed king. And with the most condescending look imaginable, she asks, what is this piece of trash? Kim Yuda, having what appears to be a mild overreaction. He's screaming his head off, completely bewildered. After all, he just saw his entire party get resurrected out, so what in the fresh hell is this? Because rising before him are the very same comrades who fought and died by his side. The ones who gave everything to climb this stupid tower, that has no rhyme or reason. And now, he finally turns his rage to the real culprit. The one who's been pulling the strings. He demands to know if this was the grand prize at the end of the climb. Was turning his friends into puppets the whole point? But before he can get an answer, he's absolutely rocked by Myo-wol. She hits him with the most classic villain line of all time, isn't it obvious? She claims they're all just necessary pieces to achieve her perfect world. With a smug grin, Myo-wol explains that her little world is still a bit buggy. A bit unstable. And she can't fix it without their power. Ah, so they're not comrades, they're just unpaid IT interns. Yuda is literally blown away by the sheer audacity. She made them grind through this tower, completing quest after quest, all just to be batteries for her own personal server. The rage is palpable. But Myo-wol is already over it. She's got no more business with someone who has no strength left. Cold. And with a smile that could curdle milk, she tells him to please vanish. She's not just trying to kill him, she's trying to uninstall him. And in this moment of utter despair, the regret sinks in. He screams that he never should have climbed the tower in the first place. If only he was stronger, wiser, he could have taken her out himself. The classic protagonist, what if monologue. You just know a power-up is coming. But wait, suddenly Myo-wol's arm is severed at the last second. She looks completely stunned. Myo-wol is in genuine disbelief. Someone actually managed to touch her. The look on her face is priceless. Yuda is still down for the count. The real savior is this absolute mountain of a man, who looks down on Yuda and says, I've misjudged you, brat. Fist King Asura. And he is not happy. Not because she hurt Yuda, but because. How dare you lay a hand on my prey before I did? I like this guy. Yuda recognizes the Jigachad who broke his status window earlier. Asura acknowledges the kid's courage, but tells him it's still way too early for him to be stepping into the big leagues. With that, Asura declares that he will be the one to take her head, and launches himself forward like a freight train. He lands a devastating punch right to Myo-wol's face, the impact cracking the very ground beneath them. And as he holds her by the throat, Asura lets out a maniacal grin. He's not just a king. He is this king. But in a shocking twist. Myo-wol is impressed. She's actually amazed that someone can exert this much power without the system. Asura isn't just another player, he's a bug in her perfect matrix. However, she's not about to let an anomaly like him run wild. She unleashes her own dark, binding energy, wrapping it around him. For the first time, Asura looks genuinely surprised. "What is this?" he roars, feeling her energy seep into him. "How dare you use another wicked trick on me?" Looks like even a self-proclaimed king can be caught off guard by a woman's touch. And in a move of ultimate manipulation, she embraces the restrained Fist King, whispering a new command directly into his soul. "Please, conquer every tower in this world. If you can't beat M, brainwash M into becoming your new #1 employee." And with that, Myo-wol makes her grand exit, but not before leaving him with a classic villain promise: "I shall be waiting for you, at the highest point of this world. Basically, see you in the final boss room, loser." Asura is left on his knees, the remnants of her binding spell flickering around him. For the first time, the unstoppable Fist King looks stopped. His mind flashes to an image of the myo-wol from his time. The one that sent him here. He looks to the sky, a rare moment of vulnerability on his face. "Why on earth did you send me to a place like this?" And Yuda, bless his heart, is getting completely bodied. He's trying to parry, but without his status window, he's just a guy with a sword against a monster. He's still trying to reason with them, screaming their names. "Young Myung-hoon. Choi Yunseo. It's me, Kim Yuda." It's heartbreaking, really. And completely pointless. His little fairy guide, Nova, has to be the bearer of bad news. She tells him it's no use, that it's just a memory response. They aren't home anymore, Yuda. Yuda is just not getting it. The denial is hitting him harder than that puppet's sword. But, he stammers, still trying to find a reason to hope. And that's when Asura, steps in. He effortlessly crushes the puppet's head, and asks Yuda, "What are you doing, brat?" Asura turns to Yuda, his patience clearly wearing thin. He has one goal: quickly, guide me to the place where those damn towers are. But Yuda is still stuck on step 1. "Wait. These people. These are my comrades," he pleads, still not accepting the harsh reality. Asura gives him the most disappointed dad look I have ever seen. "Comrades," he scoffs, "do they look like comrades to your eyes?" He lays down the cold, hard truth. They are nothing more than the vengeful spirits of the dead. And clinging to them is only going to get him killed. Asura gives him an ultimatum. Stay here and be uselessly sentimental with these low-level ghosts, or get his act together. Because Asura will find that damned woman by himself if he has to. Your move, Yuda. As if on cue, the entire mob of puppets decides to jump Asura at once. Bad move. Asura, without even flinching, proceeds to block, parry, and dismantle the attacking puppets like they're nothing more than annoying flies. He actually looks offended. These damned ghosts dare to block this king's path. The absolute, unadulterated ego on this man. He's had enough. "Fine, I'm busy," he declares, winding up a punch, "so I'll blow you all away at once." And he unleashes his named attack. Fist King. Asura. Style. Destruction. You just gotta love it. But then, nothing. His named attack didn't work. He clutches his chest, confused. He can't feel any internal energy in his body. Then it clicks. That witch, she sealed his dantian. She basically cut off his access to his own power. But his reaction is to laugh. He actually finds it amusing. How dare she try to test me? This man just got nerfed and he sees it as a challenge. He's not worried, he's insulted, and that's way more dangerous. Even with his powers sealed, Asura floats down like a god, declaring that no matter what Myo-wol does, she cannot stop this king. He says this while the puppets he just blew away are already regenerating below him. Awkward. He continues his epic monologue, boasting that even without a single martial art at his disposal, he is still the strongest. The confidence is just unreal. He cracks his knuckles, a grin spreading across his face. Well then, shall I loosen up for the first time in a long while? He's treating a life-or-death battle against an immortal army like a light gym session. And with a single punch to the ground, he sends a shockwave that launches the puppet sky high. No powers, no problem, just pure, unadulterated hands. Yuda can only watch in stunned silence. He knew the guy was strong, but this is ridiculous. As expected, he mutters, "That man is a monster." But, as he watches the carnage, a dreadful realization dawns on him. Despite Asura's overwhelming power, the dummy players are regenerating. It's an endless tide. He realizes that if the fight doesn't end, even a monster like Asura will eventually run out of gas. Yuda looks at his own blade, glowing with holy energy. He clenches his fist. A decision is made. I have to help him. Nova immediately panics, zipping in front of him. "Calm down, Yuda," she yells, trying to talk some sense into him. She gives him the hard truth: with his stats gone, using the holy sword like this is basically suicide. His body won't be able to handle the backlash, and he could straight up die. Yuda looks down at a reforming puppet and simply says, "I'm aware, Nova. But if I don't do this..." He knows the risks. And he's willing to take them. A memory flashes through his mind, one of his fallen comrades, her face twisted in a silent scream, her last words echoing in his head, "Let's climb the tower, Yuda." Fueled by that memory, he plunges his sword down, dispelling the puppet's regeneration with a burst of holy light. His eyes burn with a furious, orange glow. He knows that if he backs down now, he'll never be able to avenge them. He stands defiant, telling Nova that no matter what happens, he will find the woman who did this to him and to his comrades. This is his vow. And with a newfound resolve, Yuda charges headfirst into the fray, screaming out to his new, reluctant partner in crime, Ajusi. He appears in a flash of gold, a cocky grin on his face. "You can withstand this without dodging, right?" he yells at Asura. He's not asking, he's telling. His plan? Use the nerfed but still a gigachad Asura as bait. Keep drawing their aggro just like that. Asura is understandably confused. That brat. Asura is pissed. He's the Fist King. He gives orders, he doesn't take them. But he's a little too busy being swarmed to do anything about it. Yuda smirks. It worked. Good. All the dummies' aggro has been drawn to him. The little guy is learning to be devious. He leaps high above the battlefield, sword held high, positioning himself directly over the clustered horde of puppets. Now's my chance. The puppets look up knowing they're cooked. A single tear rolls down his cheek as he grits his teeth. "I'm sorry, guys." An apology for what he has to do. But the sorrow quickly turns to fury. His eyes glow with crackling blue energy as he makes a promise: "Your revenge. I will definitely get it for you." He raises his blade to the heavens and calls forth its ultimate power, Holy Sword of Asterion. Heavenly Judgment. A colossal beam of divine light erupts from the sky, aimed squarely at the battlefield below. The sky opens up, and a pillar of pure, holy energy obliterates the battlefield. Yuda put everything he had, and everything he didn't have, into that one single attack. Asura stands in the aftermath, completely unfazed by the holy nuke that just went off in his face. He just scoffs, "Heh. Good grief. That arrogant brat. That's high praise, coming from him." Yuda is left on his knees, completely spent. Asura approaches, looking down at the exhausted kid and admits, "You're quite useful after all, aren't you?" But Yuda isn't done. He struggles to speak, telling the Fist King to keep one thing in mind. When it comes to killing that witch, it won't be Asura who deals the final blow. With the last of his strength, he pushes himself up, his eyes blazing with newfound purpose. He points his sword forward and makes his declaration: "It'll be me." And then, he immediately passes out. Asura, with a look of sheer "I am so done with this," catches him and just picks him up. Princess style. "You cannot make this stuff up." Then Asura starts cackling like a madman. He calls Yuda less than dust, and is absolutely livid that this kid had the gall to order him around twice. But through the laughter, he looks at the unconscious Yuda and decides, fine. I'll give you a reward for making me laugh. And here is the grand prize. Holding him like a sack of potatoes, Asura makes a vow, if you ever become stronger than me, I'll give you the chance to kill her. It's not a promise, it's a challenge. As he carries Yuda away from the ruins of the tower, a smile creeps onto his face. I look forward to it. A new, incredibly dysfunctional partnership has begun. Meanwhile, in a completely different part of this world, a heavy boot steps onto the ruins of another structure. We're not in Kansas anymore. And we get our first look at a new player in this game. A towering warrior clad in furs and armor, his face hidden behind the skull of a great stag. He looks like he just walked out of a From Software game. And as we close in on that terrifying helmet, a menacing, pink energy begins to glow from within the empty eye socket, a sign that the next boss battle is loading. We transition into a majestic canyon, a classic training ground straight out of a wuxia novel. Serene, powerful, the perfect place for a montage. And here's our guy, the Fist King Asura, doing exactly what you'd expect a stone-cold, overpowered protagonist to do, meditating under a giant waterfall. It's like rule number 1 in the big book of being a badass. But wait, something's not right. The meditation ends, the eye opens, and you know that look. That's the look of, hold on a second. He throws a punch, expecting to shatter the very atoms around him, but all he gets is a splash. A big, wet, disappointing splash. And then it hits him. He can't feel a single trace of his internal energy. His powers, the very core of his being, are just gone. Is he scared? Is he worried? Nah. He's smiling. This absolute madman thinks it's a bold move. Someone managed to seal his power, and he's not even mad, he's impressed. What a flex. So, with his main power source offline, he turns to his plan B. He looks over, a grim determination on his face as he says, I suppose I have no choice. And plan B is violence. He gives his companion, who was trying to get some beauty sleep on the floor, a gentle wake-up call to the spine. The sheer impact sends the poor guy flying. I mean, who needs internal energy when your legs are registered as lethal weapons? And just like that, our other hero, Kim Yuda, is up and ready to complain. He calls Asura a muscle-brained gorilla, which, to be fair, is not entirely inaccurate at the moment. But still, bold words for a guy who was just tasting dirt. Yuda, ever the glutton for punishment, wants to go another round. But Asura's got that I'm so done with you look on his face. He's completely unimpressed. Asura shuts him down immediately. He doesn't have time to spar, he's on a mission to destroy the towers. Get up, we're leaving. The customer service in this party is terrible. But Yuda, being the little troll that he is, smirks and asks why he should help. He brings up finding that woman, poking the bear just to see what happens. And what happens is rage. Asura absolutely loses it. Turns out, mentioning the woman is a very sensitive subject. Asura roars that the wench, they're looking for is hiding in the towers because this entire world is her creation. And we get a quick flash of Yuda protecting the small, helpless Nova, reminding us what's at stake for him. After his little outburst, Asura tries to play it cool, folding his arms and hitting him with the classic, it's not as if I enjoy traveling with you. He admits Yuda's swordsmanship is somewhat useful. Ah, he cares. He then turns the tables on Yuda, pointing out that he's also trying to catch that woman. Yuda is left completely speechless. Touché. Asura lays down the hard truth, catching her is impossible, because, frankly, they're weak. Their physical bodies just aren't up to the task. And with a grin that promises nothing but pain, Asura makes a declaration, from this moment forward, I shall strengthen your bodies. And so, the hellish training arc begins. And, wow. After some time, we see the results. This is Nova, the once tiny chibi companion, now a full-grown warrior, respectfully thanking her master. Talk about a glow-up. Asura gives her a nod of approval, acknowledging her talent. But she's humble, giving all the credit to his teachings. The master-student dynamic is strong with these two. Asura then looks off into the distance, impatiently wondering where that brat Yuda has gotten to. You can just feel the disappointment in his voice. And we get our answer. While Nova is out here looking like a Greek goddess, Yuda is in the background, looking on in utter disbelief. The caption says it all, how truly pathetic. Oh, the poor guy. While the other two are having their master-student moment, Yuda is barely holding himself together, trembling and using a walking stick just to stay upright. He's completely and utterly wiped out. And just when you think it can't get any worse for him, Asura makes him run while carrying a giant log. Yuda looks at his friends like they're absolute lunatics, asking if this is some kind of boot camp. But his suffering is just another Tuesday for them. Welcome to the grind, buddy. Meanwhile, Yuda is still trying to process Nova's transformation from a cute, pocket-sized companion to, well, a bodybuilder. He's asking the real questions here: is she on steroids? And more importantly, why? But his brain gives up, and so does the rest of his body. He collapses onto the ground, completely spent, while Asura just looks down on him with that signature, "I'm surrounded by idiots" expression. Asura calls him a pathetic brat, but then gives him the faintest praise imaginable: "You managed to catch up, barely." That's basically a declaration of love coming from this guy. After that lovely training session, the gang comes across their next objective, another tower. And Asura immediately notes how bizarre it looks, even weirder than the last one he casually destroyed. The architecture is just wrong. Nova, now in full-on disciple mode, asks if they're going to enter. Asura scans the building, but there's no door. No entrance in sight. How curious. And then, the smirk. The terrifying, "I have a very bad idea" smirk. Asura turns to his disciple and says, "No entrance is necessary. You just know what's coming next." His plan? Why bother with puzzles and keys when you can just destroy the whole damn thing? Simple. Efficient. And very, very loud. Nova has been fully converted to the Asura way of life and is now his #1 glazer. She's in the back, screaming, "That's my master for you. Smash it in a single blow." She's a little too enthusiastic about property damage. Yuda, however, is the only one in the party with a single, shared brain cell of self-preservation. He desperately tries to call a timeout, begging them to think it through. But there are no brakes on the Asura train. Asura completely ignores him and winds up, ready to punch a skyscraper into oblivion. This is why we can't have nice things. And the moment he connects, the world itself starts to blue screen. Error. Error. A fatal error has occurred. You know you've messed up when you literally start breaking the fabric of reality. Asura is consumed by a torrent of raw, chaotic data. This is what happens when you try to brute force a puzzle, kids. You crash the whole server. And in a flash of corrupted light, the world around them changes completely. The lush forest is gone, replaced by a desolate, ruined city. The transition is not smooth. They're violently teleported and dropped into the new area like a sack of potatoes. They all make a graceful landing, face first onto the pavement. Nova has reverted to her tiny chibi form, hilariously complaining, "No. My muscles." While Asura just grimly wonders what these hideous buildings are. Yuda and the now tiny Nova are in complete shock, looking around at the urban decay and asking the million-dollar question, "Where are we?" Yuda looks up at the familiar sight of skyscrapers, and a sliver of hope appears. Could it be? Could he have finally returned to his original world? But that hope is immediately shattered. Nova, with her big eyes, spots something down the street and screams for Yuda to look. It's a graveyard. The streets are littered with the corpses of other players, their journeys ending right here on the cold, hard asphalt. The grim reality sets in for Yuda. This isn't home. This is just another layer of the nightmare. He's completely lost, wondering where in the world he could possibly be. And just when things couldn't get any creepier, a voice echoes through the desolate streets, "Heed my call." A dark, purple energy begins to emanate from the ground. The source of the energy is the dead players themselves. Their bodies begin to emit a foul, purple miasma as their souls are forcefully drawn out. Asura watches, completely unfazed, as the souls are pulled from the bodies right in front of him. Just another Tuesday for the Fist King. Asura observes as the souls of the dead are violently ripped from their bodies, gathering into a single, swirling vortex in the sky. It's like some kind of supernatural recycling program, and it is not pretty. The vortex of souls begins to coalesce, taking shape, and from it, a single figure descends, landing with an air of absolute arrogance. Asura, of course, just smirks, thinking this is intriguing. But this new arrival doesn't look like he's here for a friendly chat. The figure reveals himself to be a man with spiky black hair, a long coat, and enough edge to cut diamonds. He looks down on our heroes and condescendingly asks if they're the new players. He's basically a wannabe Sung Jin-woo. He immediately goes into a classic villain monologue, warning them not to even try fighting back. According to him, any resistance is completely futile. He declares that he is the only one who can reach the pinnacle of this tower, while Asura just stares him down, completely unimpressed. With a flick of his wrist, he begins to summon something truly massive from the purple energy he commands. And he brings forth a gargantuan skeleton monster, introduced as the Spectre King. So this guy's a necromancer. A very, very extra necromancer. Yuda, understandably, is freaking out. He recognizes that this isn't just some run-of-the-mill skeleton mob. This thing is on a whole other level. The Spectre King immediately lunges for an attack, and Yuda, in a rare moment of genuine concern, yells at Asura to get out of the way. But Asura just scoffs. He's genuinely offended that Yuda would think this a mere monster could possibly be a danger to him. The sheer, unadulterated disrespect. So, does he dodge? Does he block? Nope. Asura meets the giant skeleton's punch with his own fist, and completely overpowers it. The resulting shockwave is immense, shattering the Spectre King's arm and shaking the very ground they stand on. Asura stands there, fist still smoking, and calls the ultimate undead being a pathetic piece of trash. This man's confidence is on another plane of existence. The summoner is shocked, but his Spectre King begins to regenerate behind him. He taunts Asura, questioning how he dares to claim the pinnacle when this is all he's got. Asura is so bored by this point that he literally sits down. He calls the summoner an arrogant and pathetic coward for hiding behind his monster. The summoner is actually taken aback by the accusation. Me, hiding behind a monster? He seems to find the very idea absurd. And then we get the big reveal. The camera pans out to show that the summoner isn't just hiding behind the Spectre King, he's got a whole army of monsters, and he's standing on top of one that makes the Spectre King look like a toy. Well then. The summoner's eyes glow with menace as he declares his new goal, to see just how long they can survive against his endless horde. He's going to put them to the test.